You're listening to Create Wealth Through Franchising, and I'm your host, Kim Daly. In my 20 years as a franchise consultant, I've helped hundreds of people achieve their dreams of building and scaling franchise businesses to create wealth. The interview you're about to hear can also be found on my YouTube channel, where I post new franchising content multiple times per week. Please take a moment to subscribe to the podcast and to my YouTube channel at kimdaly.tv. Now, enjoy the show. Welcome back to the Daily Coach YouTube channel. Today I have a special guest. His name is Will Bartholomew. Will is the founder and CEO of D1 Training, headquartered in Nashville, Tennessee. Will, welcome to Kim Daly TV.
Thanks for having me. Excited to talk all things franchising. Pumped.
Yeah, we're going to pump it up. All right. So the reason I wanted to have Will on the show, guys, is because not because because he runs a super sexy franchise that I love, but because Will was on track to become a professional athlete when he got derailed with an injury, and then he decided to become franchisor. And I wanted to get him on camera and put him on the spot and ask him. So here's the question, Will. Is it harder being a franchisor than it was trying to be a professional athlete?
That's a great question. Being a successful business person, not just a franchisor, is way more harder than being even a professional athlete mentally.
So, for you candidates out there who want to be franchisees, what Will is saying is you're a pain in his butt.
No, I'm just saying to be successful at anything in business, successful in anything in business, you have to build new skills. You have to not only acquire those skills, and then you have to be able to scale those skills, and then you have to be able to hire those skills, which requires a lot of brain power and a lot of learning. And I think the interesting thing about football is that as I started playing at a young age, and then played high school, then I got to play at the University of Tennessee, and then I got the chance to be in the NFL. And when I was with the Denver Broncos, the interesting thing about football is that your body it takes you a long way, right? And then you have to get smarter and smarter the longer you play. So the further I got, whether it went from Pop Warner to middle school to high school to college, I had to get smarter up here. But you actually had to get smarter at the minute things, the where you step, the where you put your hands when you block, those types of things, which actually really equates well to business. Because with business, it's the exact same thing. When you first start out, you're trying to learn just kind of like the macro, like how to be an entrepreneur, how to run your own business. And then you start stacking those skills, and you really have to refine them and drop down. And that's what the beauty of franchising is that you're able to go, if you buy a franchise, you're not starting at the Pop Warner phase, which most entrepreneurs start at. You're actually jumping all the way to college into pros, because you're actually stepping into the arena with people that have been at the professional level for a long time. Before I started franchising, I was in business for 18 years running gyms. And so when our franchisees join the D1 franchise system, they're getting 18 years of mistakes. They're getting 18 years of learnings. And so when they come in, it is super exciting to teach them all of that. And they're able to fast forward all that head knowledge. And so, that I look at it like this. I played football since I was in third grade, and I played till I was 25 years old. And if you look at that time and the amount of time I've been in business just a little bit longer. I'm trying to stay young, because I keep in my hair, trying to stay young in being in the gym business. But it's interesting as every year I keep going, I'm like refining that, and I go, man, if I had this knowledge 5 years ago, look where I would be. And so I would definitely say building a great business is a little bit harder, in the sense of it doesn't rely on the body as much, especially at a young age. But franchising makes it a little bit easier.
That's awesome. So, you know what I thought you were going to say when you were setting up, like from the NFL, is when you're an athlete, you're kind of singularly focused. I mean, yes, you're in a team sport in football, but you're singularly focused on your mental toughness, your discipline. You know, you have your own goals and, running your 440 or whatever your measurements are, right? Versus like when you're now a franchisor, you're trying to teach other people, like you're leveraging your time through your team, and then they're leveraging their knowledge down to the franchisees, right? Or the other way back up the scale. So that's what I thought you were going to say. But either way, like that is a great answer.
You bring up a great point. As an athlete, the one thing I love when we have retired current professional athletes join this system, because what I do know they all have in common is they know um, how to work really hard and have discipline,
Right.
and they know how to follow a playbook.
Right.
And that's the one thing, for years you're doing all that. So when you join a franchise system, all those skill sets translate, because it's like we have the process already built for you. We just need you to go. We have the playbook already done for you. You just need to go run the plays. We need you to have the discipline to have the meetings, in the cadence and the communications that we set up for you. And so we get really excited when we just had Jalen and Sammy Watkins, the receiver crew. If you guys know, they're actually getting ready to open their D1 franchise, and a guy named Josh Hill who played for the Saints. And we have these amazing athletes that are coming in and opening these locations to carry out the mission to help athletes around the country. But just in franchising in general, I would say I love that an athlete can translate and take someone's, they take the playbook and go run the plays.
So you have, former W-2 employees that are D1 franchise owners, and you have former or current professional athletes that are D1 franchise owners. So, who does better?
Yeah, I would say this. The interesting thing about owning any business, and I would say this is the same thing for a team, is that when you become an owner of a business, it's just like owning a team. And so I would say the people that do the best are the people that hire the best, because we have all the processes and systems. We know how to make a lot of money in the business. And if you can hire well and see talent, and I will say that's the one interesting skill set athletes typically haven't had to do, right? Because it's been you being hired. It's
Mhm.
my job to go, hit the guy. And so they hire me to go hit him. And so now it's no, I get to hire a guy who's going to go hit him that I think. And so, um, from an athlete standpoint, being able to recognize what a winner looks like, and you've been around those high level winners, and then go, could I have picked? Here's a great one. Could I have picked Tom Brady in the seventh round? Right?
Yeah, that's right.
Because
I'm a New
I
England
mean,
girl.
they made a lot of money. New England made a ton of money doing that, right? And then, can you pick those diamonds in the rough? And then, obviously, the no brainers, the first pick overall. Like, can I identify that for my space and my lane? Because if you can do that, you can do everything. The reason I'm able to sit on this call right now and do this with you is because I have a world class team. My team crushes it, and so because of that, I'm able to sit here today.
Hey, Daily Coach fans, if this franchise sounds like a fit for you, I would love to be your daily coach. Email me right now for a totally free consultation at inquire@kimdaly.tv. There was a brief moment when I first met Will, and I was like, I was born for this business. Didn't I say that well? And then
You
like
did.
your development guy was like, I'm like, I'm coming to Nashville. And he was like, Kim, do not come. If you don't plan to move forward, don't come, because there's no way you're coming here and not becoming a D1 franchisee. And I had just
That's
remember
right.
I had broken my leg and I couldn't like fly at that point. But my accountant was like freaking out because he was like, you're gonna walk away from everything you've other franchise. This is such a great business. So
let's go back to the D1 mission. What is the D1 mission, Will?
Our mission is to inspire and motivate athletes to reach their goals. Uh, and so when I finished playing football, my whole goal was to be able to give back to that middle school kid, that high school kid, a training environment and people around them to help them reach their goals. And so, uh, we're doing that. Currently we have a little over 60 locations open. Right now we're in a crazy phase. We're opening 40 something locations right now, and the amazing
Wow.
thing is these athletes in all these cities are able to come to a place to be inspired to reach their goal. Right? We all have goals. We all have business goals. We have life goals. We have athletic goals, and so I wanted D1 to be that place to come reach their goal. And as a franchisor, my mission is actually the same thing. It's just a little different. My mission is to inspire and motivate um, entrepreneur athletes. People that want to become entrepreneurs and own their own business to reach their goal. And so we actually do that as part of our recruiting day of franchise training. We really try to figure out why people want to own a franchise. Is it financial independence? Is it, a business they want to do with their family and give back to their kids? Is it being able to control your own destiny? All of those things. And so we really want to know that because my goal is to help them get there. I was fortunate enough at a very young age to be able to pick my goal, which was to be in the sports performance industry and to help athletes reach their goals. And I've been doing that now for, golly, it's crazy to say, 22 years. And the fun part about that is we've only been franchising for 3, and feels like we've been around forever, right?
Nice.
uh,
Yeah.
and so it's really fun to see how many athletes are being impacted right now and how many people are reaching their goals.
Yeah, that's awesome. So you don't need professional athletes to be franchise owners. Let's be clear about that. Kim Daly,
No, we do
anybody,
not.
right? Yep, can be an owner.
That's
And
right.
you were very judicious about your answer to my question of do your athletes perform better than your just W-2, former W-2 employees that are now business owners. So we'll leave that off to the side. I guess, guys, if you want to validate D1, you can validate with some professional athletes and you can validate with some, ordinary Joe people and find out who might be doing who. I imagine it's probably pretty fun at a convention to get all of these people together in one room.
Well, it's not fun when you sit behind a guy named Roy Hibbert, who's one of our franchisees, he's seven. I think he's 7'1" or 7'2". You don't want to sit behind
Just
him at
like
the
this.
conference. Yeah, you definitely don't want to sit behind him. No, it's really fun. As you know, one of the things outside of doing great business, we love to have fun, and we like to turn it up a little bit, and we just feel like that's what athletes are. Athletes are confident when they walk in the room. They love life. They want to get the most out of every day, every practice, every meeting that they're going to, and so yeah, when you come to those conferences and you get to get your award given to you by Tim Tebow, and you get to rub elbows, with all these guys. It's really cool. And what's even better for the athlete is that they get to rub elbows with really smart business people.
Yeah.
Um,
Works both
and
ways.
one of our guys is a guy named Marcus Colston. If you guys are familiar with him, he's a awesome all pro wide receiver for the Saints for years. And he was at the last conference, and he came up to me at dinner and he's like, "Man, this thing is blown away." And I'm thinking like, "Oh yeah, we put a lot, our lighting and our signage and production and the content,
Taking all the
like
credit.
I was really smart on stage." And he's like, "No," he's like, "Man, I was over there talking to we were in a round table with six of the franchisees. Man, they are so smart in the way they're looking at business. Doesn't surprise me on how much money they're making at their locations. And that's the type of thing we're trying to do, right? We're trying to put great people around each other and build a great organization. And if Kim, you keep sending us great people, we keep adding to that and building a great company.
Hey, Daily Coach fans, if you're inspired by this conversation, I invite you to email me right now to explore this franchise opportunity. My email is inquire@kimdaly.tv.
So the question I'm going to ask finally is, again, is it easier to be a professional athlete or to be a franchisor?
Uh,
I think it said athlete, guys.
the number one thing in being successful in business is having a great mindset. And I really, it all starts there, because if it doesn't, if it's not here, it's not going to translate into the community, and it's definitely not going to translate into your bank account. And so if you have a great mindset, you can do so much with any franchise business, and I mean that, and not just a D1. And so I think it's really important, whether you're a professional athlete or you're, an executive out there, or whoever you are out there looking at a franchise, is to get matched up with great people that are super smart and will put you in the right business, in the right environment. And so, Kim, I appreciate what you do, because, for people like me, we are very successful when we have great candidates come to recruiting day. And we call it recruiting day, not discover day. And you've done that for us. Really appreciate everything you're doing, and appreciate you educating, all these entrepreneur athletes out there, because it's such a need. And I say this as a former athlete. I wish I had D1 when I first started. Somebody had come to me with this business opportunity, because it would I probably made a lot more money, and it would have saved me. I would have been able to jump to the pros versus starting out in Pop Warner. It's so beneficial to have a coach walk you through that process. Because knowledge is power, and you're able to give that knowledge to them. And then as we add franchisees, we're constantly giving knowledge to them on how to be more successful and all of that. And so thanks for what you do. I really appreciate you having me on. Excited to get some more people down to D1 and talk shop.
My pleasure, Will. It's awesome. And guys, if you've watched any of my videos, the Daily Coach is nothing if she's not a mindset coach. So on that note, I'll remind you that I am Kim Daly, and I want to be your daily coach.
If you found this inspiring, please contact me at inquire@kimdaly.tv. My consulting services are totally free to you. Again, that email is inquire@kimdaly.tv. I can't wait to hear from you.